Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everyone. It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Speaking of friends, I'm with two of my good ones right here. Jonny Danger in the upper right and Trevor Hillstrom in the bottom middle. It's like Hollywood Squares over here. Trevor, first of all, how you feeling? You look good.
Well, there's ebbs and flows of this thing. You can't move your neck. I usually wearing a much bigger neck brace than this one. Going to sleep is a little bit tough because you get a little bit of that anxiety and claustrophobic feeling a little bit. But pain-wise, I'm doing pretty good, and I think I'm turning the corner.
Good for you. Good for you. All I can tell you, after my kidney transplant, I couldn't get out of bed by myself. Mrs. Roto had to literally pull me up for about a week.
Ooh,
every 90 minutes. That was rough. So I get you. I get it. But good for you. I'm glad you're feeling better. Really. Danger, how you've been on fire the last 3 weeks, my friend.
It's been a good run. Winning 3 out of the last 5 in the Danger League. Still haven't caught you yet, though, Doc. So I had a really rough start to the season on that one, but it's been good the last few weeks. I'm feeling good.
My last 2 weeks have been really good too, so I'm hoping to keep it going another couple of weeks. So let's keep it going right here. Let's get right to it, guys. Trevor? What's your initial thoughts on this slate in terms of last week we had that big game that everybody needed to be on in terms of Detroit, LA. And that game paid off. It did. It paid off. Here, is there a game that you think is the payoff game?
I don't know if there's a payoff game. I'm just focusing paying up and running back. I want to be in those top 3 backs to Chan, Bijan, and Gibbs. I want 2 of them for sure, and try to figure it all out because I think at Chan and Bijan, Gibbs, I think 2 of the 3 are going to have big weeks.
Danger, I think Trevor's not wrong. You've got the Arizona-Atlanta game that's at 48. You have Pittsburgh-Detroit that's at 52. That seems pretty high to me. And you have the Chargers-Dallas at 49.5. Is there a game that's screaming out to you, this is the one you want?
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep riding Brissett and the gang over in the Cardinals. You just got to do it. Just keep riding them.
Well, I'm not against that. But if Marvin Harrison's back, I like Wilson less. Atlanta has been one of the better teams against tight ends this year. So I'm not disagreeing as much as I'm cautious. All right, let's get to the quarterbacks, guys. Look, do we need Josh Allen? You got Josh Allen. You've got Dak. You've got Burrow, who was horrible last week, but now he's got a Miami team that's literally done. Literally. We've got Herbert, who hasn't looked good in weeks. And then we can go all the way to the bottom. And maybe there's Quinn Ewers. Maybe there's Trevor's guy, J.J. McCarthy. Talk to me, Trevor. Where are we looking?
I'm not looking at the top, that's for sure. I kind of like Burrows a little bit. I think, Danger mentioned earlier, Brissett, they marked him way down again. He's at 5,300. I mean, you don't have to play him with anybody if you're afraid that Harrison's back taking balls away from Wilson and McBride's price high. You can just play Brissett and you can fit those running backs that I mentioned earlier into your lineup, and you still got good option with Brissett. I'm still going to play a little McCarthy against my will. And I will play a little bit of Ewers just because I can really stack a lineup, and he is playing the Bengals. If he can find a way to throw a couple of touchdowns, then we're way ahead.
Danger, I don't think Trevor's wrong at all. I think Quinn Ewers opens up everything. And I think Trevor's first comment, Robinson against Arizona, feels like a generational start. Achane against the Bengals feels really good. Gibbs against Pittsburgh. You may want to figure out a lineup to get all 3 of these guys in.
Yeah, you might. I initially put Achane and Robinson in my first lineup of the week just to see, how that played out. I didn't love it. So I don't know how I'll, make it work, but I'll figure it out. But I just ran the first sim while you guys were talking there. And Kirk Cousins at 4,800 jumps right off the board. Arizona's been giving it up. You probably get London back. Could I fade Bijan to save that money, play someone else, and play Cousins, Pitts, and London?
I'm fading that, Trevor, and I'll tell you why. I think you can run on Arizona. So if you can run on Arizona and you've got Bijan and Algier, Cousins doesn't have to go crazy like he did last week.
No, I don't want Cousins. I just don't think he'll score over 20 points this week. I want a quarterback. If he's not, Ewers doesn't need to get to 20, but, Brissett's 20-plus points every week at his price point. And then you got a guy like Nix who's got a great spot. You got Stroud. I mean, there's other plays I would rather pay a little bit more than Cousins.
The reason why I say that, Doc, is because I think that we're going to see a 30+%, maybe more, Bijan Robinson. And if you want to get away from that, you're going to see such a depressed ownership on Kirk Cousins and gang because of so much Bijan.
Right. That's true. It's leverage. So last week I did pretty darn well because I played the Detroit Ram game, but I played it with Jared Goff instead of Stafford. Would I be insane to play that Lion game with Aaron Rodgers against man coverage?
I'm not upset at it because you got DK that's cheap too. I mean, his receivers are really cheap, so you can make the combination with it. If you're playing Rodgers, you got to play a receiver because they're cheap enough to match them. You have to. And Detroit's secondary sucks. I mean, it's just about as bad as you're going to get. And you can't run the football really well against Detroit either most of the time. Last week, I know Kyron did okay. There's been a couple of anomalies, but I like Rodgers too. I think Rodgers to DK would be decent.
Could be decent. I also agree with what King to Icon said about Burrow to Chase. We haven't seen that all year. If Miami's done, if Quinn Ewers stinks, if he stinks, isn't Burrow to Chase going to be a thing, Danger?
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't it be? I got no problem with it. I got Burrow as number 5, hero. What do they call their thing? Optimal. Number 5 optimal is Burrow. So, I like it. He's kind of disappointed a lot so far. And, but he's got 4 touchdown upside.
Right. And I think that's something that on any slate, look, Trevor Lawrence broke the slate last week. Broke it. So, I mean, if you find that guy, you're winning. So could Burrow be that guy? He could be. Could J.J. McCarthy be that guy, Trevor? Giants secondary is horrific.
I don't know if he can be that guy. I don't think he can get to that 30-point range where you want him to be. Even when he does well against Dallas, it just looks scary, doesn't it? When you're watching him throw the football, it's just scary. And of course, they start winning games when as a fan, you'd always want them to win. But then when it comes draft time in April, it'll be like, why did you win this game? Right. But he's got to get Jefferson involved. I mean, Jefferson's so cheap. I mean, if you listen to the game, the coach was talking, or they said they had interviewed O'Connell, and his goal is to get Jefferson 1,000 yards. They don't want it to be this year where it ends. So they got to find ways to feed him the ball. So I don't know.
I don't know about the rumors. I mean, Burrow to Minnesota. I mean, you'd have to give up your whole team for that.
Yeah, they'd give up way too much for that. I wouldn't be opposed to it if they could find a way to do it, but I don't know.
Could you imagine Burrow going from his boy Jamar Chase to his boy Justin Jefferson?
If we could keep the offensive line intact, it'd be fine.
Yeah. All right, let's get to those running backs, okay? So in weeks past, we've seen Jonathan Taylor at 9,700. We've seen McCaffrey at 9,500. Here we've got Achane at 88, Bijan at 87, Gibbs at 85. Then we drop to Cook and ETN, Chase Brown, Bucky Irving. I think we could all agree that the 3 guys up top are great starts. Danger, who are the Sims saying that may be in the guys in the middle and on the bottom that we should be interested in?
Hey, Trevor, one guess who DFS Hero's favorite leverage running back is this week.
It better not be that Genty.
Exactly correct. Genty. We got to talk to Tom. We got to get him to calm down on it.
I won't play it. I don't care how much they put him in there. I'm not playing him. I didn't play him last week. I didn't play that bum Walker they wanted last week either. I mean, forget those guys. I know what it spits it out. That's what the computer, and they spit it out. And I can watch it and say, no, thank you.
The Sims like RJ Harvey. The Sins like Kenneth Gainwell. They're loving the passes out of the backfield, the dump offs. I don't know how much I like either of them. I'm kind of into Bucky Irving. With the passing game being kind of up in the air of who gets the ball over there, I think Bucky's the play. That's not super cheap at 6,700, but I like it. And a little Travis Etienne pops a little bit at 7,000 if you want to go different than the 8,000 guys.
So let me tell you about a guy that you don't know, Danger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know a guy named LeQuint Allen?
Yeah, I mean, I know who I've seen who he is on the
played at Syracuse. Devastating pass protector, great blocker, great hands out of the backfield. $4,000. Tootin is done for the regular season. I feel like ETN is. You remember Trevor a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, where you like DeMercado at 4,300, and you're like, if this guy hits, we're doing well. I feel that way about LeQuint. LeQuint could get like 5 catches for 42 yards and maybe like 2 carries for 20. We could be looking at like 11 points for nothing. I don't know if it's worth it. I'm just throwing it out there.
Guys, the thing that's popped up in Discord already over the last 2 days for waiver wires and what to do with them is Audric Estime. Talk to me about him.
All right. So Kamara has not been ruled out. Devin Neal's been ruled out. You've got Evan Hull still there, and you have Estime still there. I think Estime is worth certainly picking up, but I don't think there's any guarantee that this guy's getting 20 touches. Because if Kamara was out, wouldn't they have ruled him out already?
He didn't practice today. I know that, but
neither did you.
Why would they play him?
I don't know.
You paid the guy a lot of money. I don't know. I'm not saying that Kamara's not playing. I'm just saying.
Let's say Kamara's not playing. Do we like Estime over Hull? Although Estime is not priced that low, and FanDuel he is in DraftKings he's at 5,000. It's not. I would want him to be at 4,000.
Let's go back to cheap running backs for a second. Do you guys like DeMercado?
I was just looking at him, and here's the thing, right? When this happened the first time, when it was Carter, when Benson went out, Carter took the rest of that game. And if I remember correctly, everybody thought, oh, Carter's going to be the guy. And then the next game, it was DeMercado. And then DeMercado got hurt, went back to Bam. So I feel like this is the situation again that Carter was the backup for that active game. The guy in front of him gets hurt, so Carter takes over the lead. But I feel like DeMercado might be the guy, and at 4,600, it's worth a shot. Now, we said that kind of about Hubbard last week too, and it was a total failure. So don't take my thoughts with a grain of salt.
Trevor, I love Chuba this week. I think this was the week you play him, and not last week.
When I'm writing him down, he did ring bells.
Do you know what I mean? Because you have to throw on Tampa, and Chuba's their guy. So it's not that I don't like Rico Dowdle, but I think that Chuba, I'm looking at who screwed me last week that will benefit me this week.
Yeah.
Poster child is Chuba. All right, let me ask you another one. A guy who really screwed us, Quinshon Judkins. Trevor, Buffalo cannot stop the run. Trevion Henderson's still running. Do you like Quinshon at all this week?
Nah, not so much, because I think Buffalo can really cheat against. Cleveland's a team you can really cheat against on the run. So that's why I don't like him as much. Once they get some really good receivers there, or some receivers, I can like him a little bit more in these situations. But Buffalo don't need to respect the pass. They'll just come after him, I think.
Is that guy Jordan? Oh, he's too expensive. And Marks is going to play.
Marks is out. I like him.
Right.
But it looks like Chubb's back practicing now too.
I know it's a mess. You mentioned RJ Harvey, Danger.
Mm-hmm.
Do we like? We're not playing Genty at all, for sure. What about Aaron Jones? What about? Is there anybody else? Aaron Jones. Pollard's been on fire, and Kansas City's done. Tyrone Tracy looked really good. Hampton against Dallas. Any of these names spark a little like?
Every one of those names is just fine by me, and I think I'm going to have to figure a couple of those guys out. Anyone against Dallas, anyone, against New York Giants or Jets for that matter. So yes to all of them.
Trevor, who's your guys on? I mean, you always have these guys that are on your list. Maybe they don't make your team, but they're on their early list. Who's your early list guys?
All right, for running back, well, I did have the two guys from the New Orleans. I'm trying to figure that out, but I have Montgomery. I think Montgomery might even, if I'm not playing Gibbs, I think Montgomery might be good against Pittsburgh. They might sneak him through the middle on a couple. I was looking at Carter, thinking that maybe he might be the guy. And then I have a guy. Oh, that's Hampton. I do have Hampton start at 5,800. I don't mind Tracy against my Vikings too much. I don't know what to expect about that game. I've told you the Vikings are just a tough team to figure out from week to week. They'll look completely horrible one week and then be totally adequate the next. So we don't know what to expect from them. But mostly, I'm going to be looking at cheaper receivers for most majority of my lineups and just paying up and back, not worrying about this other nonsense and just going with my big guns.
I love the Montgomery name, and I don't know how much he is on FanDuel, but I know he's going to be in my player pool because he's scoring at 5,900. Yeah, definitely playing him. I'm
playing him in FanDuel for sure.
For sure. Lock him in. All right, let's get to those receivers. So we've got Chase, who I'm with King to Icon. I like him. St. Brown is at 84. We dropped a CD Lamb at 78. Nico's at 75. Pickens, I can't even talk about this guy. Michael Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Olave, Jamison Williams against Pittsburgh's man coverage. That feels like a winner. Justin Jefferson at 6,000. Danger, who are the Sims talking about right now?
I brought it up earlier. They love Drake London. They currently love Michael Wilson. Of course, all of this changes as further news comes out throughout the week. I don't know why I didn't mention them in the first segment, but big fan of CJ Stroud and Nico Collins this week. I think Nico's a nice way to get off of the big names. He has risen up. He was way underpriced last week. Me and Beer Makers Fan talked about that at 6,800. I like that. And the name that I thought popped last week and he did okay is way up the board this week, and Keenan Allen at 4,800 against the Cowboys.
Somebody's going to do well, Trevor, against the Cowboys. Somebody's going to do well. Could it be Ladd? What's that?
I was just going to say that. Somebody's going to pop from the Chargers.
I think it could be Gadsden. It could be Gadsden.
I'm thinking it's Gadsden. Minnesota had an easy time to tight ends last week. Gadsden will be open because they're going to be running around trying to cover those receivers.
Right. I don't dislike Allen, but it's like the problem with the Chargers is which guy, right? Which guy, and you got to hopefully it's like musical chairs, and you got to hope to hit it. Trevor, I mentioned Jamison Williams. He may be a lock for my lineups because you got to think that Pittsburgh is going to be playing St. Brown. Is Jamison going to be open at home?
He should be. He definitely should be. I mean, there's no doubt about it. 6,400 though, he's getting up there.
He is. I like Permar mentioned Jalen Coker. I love Coker this week. Love him this week. You know that. We didn't even talk about it. Is Bryce Young the quarterback nobody's talking about this week?
He's sneaky.
Got to throw in Tampa, don't you?
Yeah, you got to throw in Tampa, and Coker might be the play. I don't think Tet's practicing, but we'll see where he's going to be at the end of the week.
He'll play. Danger, who are the cheap receivers? Like let's go say we're going with Trevor's lineup. We want the expensive running backs. Who are the cheap receivers that you're eyeing?
Well, I already told you I like Keenan Allen this week. I was on him last week. He did okay. He got you 9 points, not enough, but flop lag there. I like that a lot. Honestly, if Tet plays, he's all the way down at 5,800, and I like that. He's mispriced. 80 Mitchell pops again at 4,500.
Okay.
Sometimes it's worked out. Sometimes it hasn't. Xavier Worthy at 44 with a QB change. Maybe Minshew throws it to him. I hear Rice is all pissy in practice, so who knows?
That's a real. We're not even looking at Gardner Minshew. We didn't even talk about him. He can sling it. Tennessee is not very good. Trevor, any interest in Worthy? Any interest in any chief?
I've got Worthy starred here because Rice isn't practicing right now, and if Rice doesn't play, he's going to become almost a lock button for me. even with Minshew playing. We only saw one pass from Minshew last week. It was pretty poor, but we have to give him a break on that one. I like Godwin a little bit too. Godwin's starting to pick it up against Carolina, especially. I think Mike Evans will take some coverage away. I kind of like Addison a little bit. If you're not going to play Justin Jefferson, I like Addison on the other side.
All right, you mentioned Rice, so let me ask you this simple question. He's got a concussion. They're not going anywhere, right? Missing the playoffs. Do you risk putting him out there on the field?
Well, I wouldn't. I'd let me play Worthy in all these lineups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Listen, Doc, we love Minshew, okay? This guy is Uncle Rico. This guy will throw the ball into triple coverage. He doesn't care.
Right. Doesn't care.
I don't know if I'll play him because you can play other $4,000 quarterbacks this week, but I certainly will play wide receivers he's going to throw to. I don't know if you looked at his profile picture, Doc, but right now he looks like Jesus, and it's almost Christmas. It's in the cards. I'm just saying.
Well, Phillip Rivers looked like Joe Biden on Prize Picks last week, so what can I tell you?
He was so fun to watch, Doc. He was having a ball. He was fist pumping. He was chest pumping.
You know what? He scored gave him too much time left on the clock. He did nothing wrong.
Yep.
But I really love Minshew. I think Minshew to Worthy is the most interesting play because if I put that in, I can go expensive everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. And people are going to be off it because obviously, Mahomes is hurt and the Chiefs are eliminated for the playoffs for the first time in 23 years. But Tennessee's not a good defense. They just not. They've played better recently, but they're in play. Worthy's in play. Kelsey's in play.
I would say this: if you're not playing any Chiefs, then Tennessee's defense has to be in play.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, yes, Tennessee's in my first build. They're my first defensive build.
Trevor, who'd you start? Who are your receivers that you start?
The receivers I start, Monmouth St. Brown, if you're going to the cheap, the expensive ones, Collins, Justin Jefferson, just because of his price. I mean, it's $6 in London. I have DK Metcalf starred. I have Waddle starred. I have McConkey starred. If Marvin Harrison plays, I'm going to like him. You got to figure they're going to throw him the football.
Who was the one before McConkey?
Waddle.
And before that was Metcalf?
DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I love Metcalf. I like McConkey. I like that Worthy. I like that price range. Right? I don't know where my lineups are going to go, but I like that price range.
I'm not going to be paying. I'm not going to. I have Monmouth St. Brown star, but I don't imagine myself paying. I think Collins is the highest I'll go for the majority of my lineups.
St. Brown was a slam dunk last week. Slam dunk. I just don't know whether they go back to him like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, do we like Gadsden, Fannin, or Parkinson, non-DFS?
I mean, I've been talking to Hollywood all day. My take on this is if Adams is officially out, Parkinson has got to be in play. I absolutely love him. I hate that it's tomorrow night, and that actually probably helps him. But I like Parkinson over those guys. I think they're all very similar, but you take Adams out of play, and I think Parkinson is a
it's a good matchup against Seattle. They're more than willing to give up passes to the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
They always have been this year. All right, let's get to tight end. Speaking of tight end, Trey McBride. Nobody wanted to play this guy last week, right? Oh, the Texans defense, blah 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 blah.
Let me tell you, if I had to put McBride in, I take Justin Sheet and I filter just by those players and play the mini max, right? We got talking after the show Saturday night, and he goes, "I think take McBride out of there. He's too expensive. It's a bad matchup." And I did, and I still doubled up. I might have made a run to win that mini max if I would have left him in there.
If I would have played McBride and Lawrence, I guarantee I would have won $20,000-$30,000. I mean, I played St. Brown and Nakua in just about every lineup I had.
I did too.
And I won a few thousand, but I mean, I didn't play any Lawrence. With all the lineups I play, I didn't have any Lawrence and hardly any McBride. What am I thinking?
Are you worried about Higbee, Doc? For Hollywood?
I'm worried that there's 47 tight ends there. And I just feel like we haven't heard Gadsden's name in a long time. So Fannin, we've heard a bunch, but Buffalo's not bad against tight ends. Milano's pretty good. I think I could be on Gadsden. Not that I don't like
number one against tight end in fantasy for the year.
who.
I like Gadsden a lot for DFS.
Yeah. Gadsden's the player nobody's playing.
All right, Hollywood, Gadsden.
So we have McBride, then we have Bowers. Then, and I'm, look, Bowers this week is not McBride from last week. Pitts feels like a really good play, but am I going back exact to the place, to the scene of the crime? I want to be cheap. Doesn't it feel like Darren Waller is going to be the most highly owned guy on the slate?
Waller, Dulcich, yeah.
Something like that.
Jasicki is good too.
Well, is he good with T. Higgins back?
Yeah.
What about your boy, Trevor? T.J. Hawkinson, 3,000.
Yeah, he's going to make a few of my lines, but if I'm playing 3 lineups, he's not.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect from the Vikings from week to week. You just don't know.
What about you, Danger? What are the Sims saying?
Sim says Kyle Pitts is the play. Also likes Dalton Schultz, so continues to like my CJ Stroud play. I like that. A Jake Ferguson sighting. He hasn't been in the Sims in a while.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Is the Sims accounting for London being in or out?
In.
Oh, okay. Well,
what about a little revenge narrative? 2,900. Evan Engram going against his Jaguar team. Nobody's going to play that.
And they shouldn't. Just throwing it out there.
Trevor, you playing that?
I'm definitely going to play Engram. Jacksonville can't guard a tight end. I mean, there's going to be.
But Evan Engram can't play tight end, Trevor. That's the.
Well, that might be true, but I don't know if it's him or what.
Yeah, I think so, Hollywood. I really like Parkinson, but it's a gut play.
I would pick Parkinson if Adams is out.
Look, 2,600 Doc at 6'7", 320 pounds. Give me Darnell Washington.
I don't hate it. There's no way Detroit can cover that guy. So look, if I think Aaron Rodgers is going to play well, which I do, right? I do. And then I've got to say to myself, you can't run. Who are you throwing, right? Who are you throwing it to? Gainwell, Metcalf, Washington. It's in play for me. I do agree with King to Icon. Trevor, how bad is Minnesota against the tight end?
Oh, it all depends. It depends on when they're playing, but they seem to be better. Ferguson didn't do much against them. But they were really bad. You saw in the primetime game, but that's when Cashman and Ben Ginkel are out. And them guys are back. They're a much different defense. So you got to look at the games that they lost. They got blown out against Green Bay and they got blown out against Seattle in the last month and a half. That was definitely not the defense's fault. The offense was 3 and out the whole game, interceptions. They did everything they could to stay in those games. So there have been that don't break defense at times against the good offenses. I don't know what I think of.
All right. The gross play of the week, the nasty gross play that nobody wants to play. If Alvin Kamara is out, is Taysom Hill going to score against the Jets?
No, I'm not taking that chance.
Would you play him on FanDuel?
Maybe. One lineup. He's 5,000 on FanDuel.
Yeah, that's not cheap enough. If he was like 4,500, Tinsley last week was great on FanDuel because at 4,300 it allowed you to get other guys in. But 5,000 Danger, too much for Taysom. But on DraftKings, he's like literally free.
Did you see Tinsley drop a touchdown? Ouch. Would have taken him 12 points. That one catch would have taken him from 2.5 to 12 points.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Defense. Is the Texans defense worth $4,000?
Maybe.
Probably.
Do you like the Giants defense, Trevor, against your Vikings?
A little bit. You got to think, considering McCarthy as the quarterback. I like the Vikings defense against the Giants somewhat.
I do too.
The Vikings defense is still priced pretty cheap at 2,800.
Danger, who's your favorite defense?
I mean, right now I think I'm settled in on Tennessee. I think Minshew's going to throw a pick at least. I don't know that they won't win the game. I mean,
they could win the game.
Yeah. Especially if Rice is out. And I really like the Texans defense that much, or the Titans defense that much more.
I think Titans defense are going to be super popular. If you want to stay super cheap, the simulations actually like the Browns against Buffalo for some weird reason.
I could see it somewhat because there's not the receivers that there's not that the big deep threat receivers.
Well, is the Buffalo offensive line still injured? Or are they back?
I'll have to read up on it.
I'm looking right now. Let me see. Buffalo, because they've had a lot. Deion Dawkins is questioned. No, then they're mostly healthy. I think Dawkins played. He played last week.
Yeah.
Can I give you the defense I kind of like? Don't laugh. The Falcons.
They're ranked number 1 optimal in DFS Hero.
There you go. I just think they love to rush the passer. Brissett's not the fastest guy. They're playing at home. And can I tell you what impressed me about the Falcons last week? They still tried. They tried.
Are they in Arizona?
Are they in Arizona?
They're in Arizona.
Oh. Oh, they are in Arizona. All right, I'm fading. Fade.
Yeah, I think I'm going to play a lot of Texans. I'm going to play a lot of Titans. Those are probably going to be my 2.
All right, so let's do a lineup because that's what we do on this show, right? We get our lineups in, and we don't hate them.
Hey, my show lineup last week with you and Beer doubled up. So.
Oh, there we go. All right, so I loved it. All right, quarterback.
Our Saturday night one did too.
Sure did. Yeah.
Who's our quarterback?
Good questions.
All right, you know what? I'm going to do it a different way. Trevor, I want Achane and Bijan. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see where we can go with this.
All right, let's go backwards, right? I'm getting those 2 big boys in. Is there a Danger? Are you okay with that?
Sure, why not?
Okay. What receivers must we have?
Look, this is how I feel. I feel like Rice isn't playing. If Rice isn't playing, I feel like Worthy's a lock at his price, especially when we pay up at
I locked him in.
Agreed.
You agree?
Agreed.
Okay. Give me another receiver.
I didn't expect to be on the spot this soon.
You're on the spot.
All right, I'll give you names. Do we like Justin Jefferson? Do we like DK? Do we like Addison? Do we like Coker? AD Mitchell?
I like Metcalf against that horrible secondary.
All right, give me who's our tight end?
Are we going Gadsden or are we going Waller? Pitts? I'll let Danger pick the tight end.
Danger, I want to be as cheap as possible.
Sure. Yeah. We want to get.
What do you want to be?
If you want to be as cheap as possible, I mean, look, if you want to stack Rodgers with DK and Washington, that's pretty darn cheap.
or do you want Waller at 3,500, or is there a guy you like better?
I mean,
Dulcich. Yeah.
Feels risky.
Yeah. Well, I think
he's
not as risky.
The reason I did it this way is not because I wanted Rodgers, it's because I knew I wanted those running backs, and now I'm working around that.
Right.
Who's your tight end?
Jeez.
Right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Who's our defense? Tennessee?
I mean, we're playing Worthy, but I don't think that matters. I think you can still, get a touchdown from Worthy and a pick 6 from Tennessee.
All right, so I'll put Tennessee in. Still need a quarterback, 2 receivers, a tight end, and a flex.
1 receiver, right?
Oh, 1 receiver. My bad.
Well, let's put.
Can we stick with Brissett at quarterback just because he's been so automatic, or no?
We may need money. We may need to be cheaper.
I think you can go back down to below 5,000. I think you can put Keenan Allen in. We think somebody's going to hit for the Chargers. And Keenan Allen is how much more cheaper than that? I mean, a ton.
Okay. Who's our tight end?
You keep
Sure.
asking that question. I don't think anybody understands what you're saying. What about Juwan Johnson at 4,000 flat? He's steady Eddie.
I don't know if I
He
woke up
hasn't
this morning.
broken
and I said,
10
okay.
points once in the last month.
What about Theo Johnson? 37.
I want to be Waller, but I don't want to be. All right, let me ask a question here. Don't laugh. What about Gunnar Helm?
Scored last week.
He's banged up this week, though, isn't he?
Oh,
I don't know. Let's just put Waller in at 3,500. See what happens. We can come back to it if we need to.
all right. No, I think that's the smart play.
No, what's his problem?
He's
Well,
old. He's banged up every week.
But 2 touchdowns last week. Okay, we have a quarterback and a flex. So I'm just throwing out 3 guys. More. Ewers to pair with Achane, Cousins to pair with Bijan, Minshew with Worthy, Rodgers with Metcalf, Herbert with Allen. Or we go naked somebody.
Well, I think if you can afford it, I don't know. I mean, Herbert's going to score the most points at all, don't you think? Now we're looking for the most points.
All right. If we go Herbert, you can't get Justin Jefferson, but I don't care. I mean, unless you guys care. So you have 5,900.
Yeah. You could go. Do you want to double stack it with like a Gadsden and then try to pay up elsewhere or no?
Okay. I like it. So let's say we have Gadsden and Allen. We'll go with Herbert. And now we need 5,300.
Aaron Jones lives there.
Kenneth Gainwell.
To
Where are we at now?
We have 5,300.
Mhm.
Oh,
Jones, he's right. Jones is there. Godwin's there.
Double stack tight ends with Pitts.
Interesting. All right, do you want to put Pitts in just to see? But I don't like Pitts if London is there.
That's true.
not as much. I was thinking we could keep. Well, then no.
I don't know.
These are the dilemmas we go through.
Right.
Or do you want to double stack? You want to flex a tight end in there, another tight end, and pay up elsewhere?
All right. What if I showed you something wacky, crazy, like insane? Give me a second.
See it.
All right. What if? Just hear me out. If I offered you guys 7,900, what would you do with it?
I got to get up there now. 7,900.
You got Cook, you got McBride, you got Collins. I think Collins matchup is great.
So if I gave you 7,900, you tell me you would do Collins. Is that true?
Yeah.
All right. So what if I told you this was the lineup? Ewers, Achane, Bijan, Worthy, Metcalf, Allen, Waller, Nico, Tennessee.
Ewers, Achane, Robinson, Allen, Metcalf, Worthy. Who's a tight end?
Waller, Collins. Like it or hate it?
It's ballsy. I like it.
So we have 400 left over.
You have 400 left.
Do you want the Vikings defense or Tennessee's?
I could go up to the Vikings, but I'm open.
I
can get rid of Waller if you want.
Well, we get rid of Waller. We're looking at Strange, Theo, or Jasicki. I don't know.
I prefer Tennessee at home rather than Minnesota in New York.
I agree.
I like it right there. Let's $400 on the board. Let's be weird with Ewers and Achane, and let's win $50,000 for my $3 bucks, Doc.
So Ewers, Achane, Bijan, DK, Worthy, Allen.
Why did you tell me mine was invalid?
Well, I don't know.
You did something wrong then, sir.
So I have Ewers, Achane, Bijan, DK Worthy, Keenan Allen, Waller, Nico.
Well, I'm already entered.
He had faith in it, Doc. He already hit send.
Well, I think it's an interesting lineup. The guy that's bothering me is I just don't know whether Allen goes for like 10 for 140 and a touchdown, which is what you're going to need to take down a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't like him, but.
Well, you're hoping for 35 out of each Robinson and Achane at this point. That's what you need to make this kind of lineup work.
Well, Isaac says Waller and Achane is nasty work, and I'm hoping that's a compliment because I think it's sneaky.
Yeah. This is a GPP. This is my $3 into 50 grand, Doc.
$3 in a dream?
That's right.
This is my $100 entry for 100 grand first place.
See, that's when you're my rich friend like Trevor, you can do that.
Well, you have more options when you win.
That's fact. Fact. All right. By the way, King to Icon says Jasecki revenge game. That is true. A little revenge narrative there. Got to throw that out.
I do like Jasecki.
All right. Just know this is the first look, right? We're just looking at this, right? We're just kind of like playing around with it. We're just trying to say, hey, this is what we like as of this minute. This could always change, but we're glad that you joined us. By the way, next week, because it is Christmas, we'll be here Tuesday night. We'll talk a little Christmas slate because Danger needs that in his life.
I do.
And of course, we'll talk the main slate. And of course, we will wish you all happy holidays, which we can do now as well. And we'll do it again next week. So what do we have the remainder of this week, guys? We have Friday Night Lights on Friday, my show on Saturday, any given entry with you guys on Saturday night, and then Discord on Sunday.
Yes,
I hope
sir.
a lot of people are going to be in that Discord because that was packed last week, Danger.
That was maybe the busiest week we've had, Doc. It was crazy.
I'm going to try to make a contrarian lineup for Saturday's 2-game slate. We'll try to make a contrarian lineup and post it on Discord or X or something. Discord.
I like it. I like it.
All right. We're done tonight. Come find us later this week. For Danger and Trevor, this is Dr. Roto saying be well and take care.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.